Today we are taking a look at graphic design trends. This trend is all about experimentation and signals a move away from flat illustration and a step towards detail, depth and dimension. We are seeing designers use 3D to come up with attention-grabbing creative that often incorporates a mixed media approach through the combined use of animation, photography and illustration. Today's 3D designs range from playful to powerful, and from incredibly lifelike to compellingly abstract, while some blur the boundaries between physical and digital. A mashup of man and machine, several moving parts, and a dramatic shadow effect draw the viewer's eye to the mechanisms of this 3D design. A third dimension also adds a realistic effect to words and letters. In 3D typography, the idea is to ensure that fonts stand out from their background and look as though the viewer could reach out and touch them. For example, these simple phrases have been brought to life by designer Ben Fernley. From bulging helium balloons and swirling shoelaces to a version of the Chanel logo that resembles a cake, it's clear there are no limits when it comes to 3D lettering. Transform your text with these 7 Photoshop mockup templates. Simply choose your font, customize your color, and introduce 3D typography into your professional and personal projects in a matter of clicks. Crypto art has been attracting a lot of attention over recent years, and with some people spending millions on memes, now might be a good time to explore non-fungible tokens. NFTs are unique digital files, in this case, design pieces that are published directly onto a blockchain. The point is that only one person gets to truly own each artwork, as NFTs provide a verifiable proof of origin. This is good news for collectors and means designers can sell their digital illustrations as works of art and not have to worry about their creations being replicated without permission. Time to embrace excess, with a graphic design trend that's a direct opposition to minimalism. Instead of exercising restraint and encouraging stripped-back simplicity, maximalism is all about going over the top. Typical characteristics include bold color combinations, contrasting patterns, layered images and repeated motifs. Take a look at this collection of illustrations that's inspired by myths and legends. Leaving very little room for white space, these dense designs are bursting with dramatic detail. From astrological maps to fractured statues emerging from mountainous landscapes. Don't hold back when working on your next branding project thanks to this social media template that encourages repeated text and layer upon layer of images and illustration. Featuring formats for square posts and vertical stories, these 20 designs couldn't be simpler to customize. While maximalism is in the spotlight, there is still a lot to be said for minimalism. So we put these two divisive design styles to the test. In order to reinvent themselves, appeal to a new audience, or appear more approachable, more and more brands are undergoing makeovers. This usually means getting rid of unnecessary detail and dialing back the complex design elements. Put simply, coming up with a simplified logo as a means of breathing fresh life into an existing brand. Recently, Pringles popped the lid on their packaging's flat redesign, while Burger King served up nostalgia with a side of minimalism when the fast food brand revealed a modern update on a 90s design. Similarly, Volvo cut back on color and opted for an all-black logo, and while there may be less detail, there is no mistaking the Swedish car manufacturer's trademark circle and arrow established as the brand's identity in 1927. Whether you are rebranding or coming up with a whole new brand identity, you will find plenty of simplified logo inspiration within this collection of 15 retro-style templates and badges. Featuring fully customizable colors, shapes and texts, these scalable vectors provide the jumping-off point for a range of businesses, from bakeries to boxing clubs. Leading on from our last graphic design trend, Minimalist Retro features old-school fonts, an organic color palette, warm tones, soft shadows and natural textures. stylish nod to vintage 70s magazine layouts and record covers, this versatile trend lends itself especially well to business logos, editorial features and product packaging. Like these tubes of toothpaste that Australian design agency Date of Birth came up with when asked to create a visual identity that looks both nostalgic and fresh. This is achieved with a chunky retro font in modern pinks and purples set against a clean, forest green background. From magazines to fashion portfolios, this magazine template from Envato Elements artist Flawless is a masterclass in minimalist retro. Customizable spreads come in a choice of 2 sizes and are dedicated to feature images, color backgrounds and simple blocks of text. Offering an escape from reality, abstract surrealism is an evolution of the abstract futurism trend we featured last year. We are talking fantastical illustrations, evocative images, and bizarre landscapes that look like something from a dream or maybe a nightmare. Just look at these surreal scenes by self-described iridescent digital artist Made Studios, which incorporate rainbow chrome across a range of unreal and unlikely set designs. Armchairs take on the weightless quality of balloons. Living rooms are carpeted in bright pink fur and a leather sofa seems to float on water. The result is unnerving, unnatural and utterly captivating. Channel your inner Salvador Dali and intrigue your audience by adding an element of abstract surrealism to your work with this 3D rendering. Futuristic yet familiar, it's just one of hundreds of photos and creative assets that can be unlocked with an Envato Elements subscription. The vivid block colors of previous years give way this year to muted tones in this graphic design trend that's focused on creating an ethereal look and feel through its use of cloud-like gradients, soft pastels and grainy textures. To promote products for people with curly hair, designer Daria Suslova went for a wavy, hazy approach, adopting dreamy muted gradients across the brand's collateral and social media feed. The result is unstructured and laid back. While the Sunri Se to Sunset color palette puts us in mind of carefree summer days. Incorporate this trend into packaging designs and promotional material with these misty gradient backgrounds. Modern, minimal and highly versatile, the collection of 40 high-resolution JPG gradients features subtle noise and the option to include a geometric wavy line. Meanwhile, the web design world has embraced complex gradients and irregular or multicolor blends as a means of adding depth to flat images. On the other end of the spectrum from maximalism, after a challenging couple of years, we are seeing some graphic designers decide to play it safe. That means going back to basics to deliver something uncomplicated and comforting and sticking to the simple things in life. We'd like to think that perhaps the pandemic has prompted a risk-averse culture in which people crave consistency and the familiarity of straightforward visuals. Like these simple illustrations that combine instantly recognizable organic and geometric shapes with a limited color palette that's warm and inviting. Bring simplicity into your socials with these Instagram post and story templates that show that muted grays and clean designs are the ideal backdrop for promoting skincare and beauty products. Opting for a minimalist look and feel doesn't have to mean missing out on color. Color becomes even more important when navigating vast expanses of white space. Designers might use colors from across the spectrum but tend to stick to just a handful within a single composition in order to accent a particular feature. Like the splashes of background color that boost the monochrome doodles on this business card. That does it for the graphic design trends you'll be seeing this year. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like it below so we know to keep producing more content like this. And subscribe